Hey, what's up guys? We're back again with the new best log bait deck after the balance changes. Rascals just got a 6% health buff and they attack 38% faster, which is a gigantic buff and you are going to be seeing them everywhere. And one of the most powerful ways to play them is with the synergy of bait. If your opponent's wasting spells on your wall breakers and goblin barrel and the Rascals get infinite value, it's going to be a huge problem. Whether it's princesses at the river, dark goblins sniping your opponent's buildings, or princes charging through for double the damage, wall breakers and goblin barrels forcing out your opponent's spells as they barely have any elixir, or the overpowered Rascals claiming their throne as one of the best cards in the game. In addition to being a fun and fast-paced deck, it's played at top 800 in the world by the best players in the game. And that's not even its final form. The balance changes haven't hit yet. It's going to be substantially stronger. It's time to bait out our opponent's logs, roll their towers, and assert dominance. Lots of love to everyone that's using creator code SirTag to make all of the high effort videos possible. All right, so jumping into the action. This guy is not going to be cycling much at the start, so we're going to take it to him with our wall breakers. It's time to break down some towers, my dude. He's going to go for a bar barrel, which is one of the best things for us to see. I love playing against barbarian barrel out of cycle. I'm going to go for a dark goblin off to the side. We should be able to go and swindle him from his hunter. I wonder if it's even able to kill my dark goblin. I don't think so. Yeah, that's so cool. I love that. And the dark goblin locks out of the tower to load up even more damage. Wow, I can't believe that. I also felt like Rap God for a second, an auctioneer. I don't know. I was talking a million words per minute. So wait, do I go in for an aggressive goblin barrel off to the side? Because if he gets back to bar barrel, he's probably not going to hit everything if he misses it. He should miss one of the goblins, or he actually delayed his barbarian barrel, so he was able to hit all of them. He didn't know where it was going to be. Also, he doesn't have elixir to stop the prince, right? Oh my gosh. Prince melted a heal spirit, hit his tower for 500 damage. He's just getting negative trades all around. Look at those goblins giving him the pound. All right, we can go for Rascals on top of the Royal Ghost. I usually am scared of Royal Ghost because it kills my Rascal girls very effectively. So that's not something I like. I'm going to go for a princess here, and I can also go for a log. Princess will fortunately have some nice splash damage, but I mean, are the Rascals going to take out the tower on the left? I think he might have overcommitted with those Royal Hogs. My man's getting greedy out here for damage. He's creating a chaotic game where he can find damage, but at the same time, I'm getting a bit more than him. We're going to go in for a Goblin Gang last possible second to see if he wanted to go for a prediction spell. Always hesitant of people like this because they seem incredibly aggressive for no reason whatsoever. I didn't know if he was going to go and swindle me with the Barbarian Barrel and then also packing like maybe arrows as well. Like, it's just not worth it. When we're up so much damage, we want to keep our lead. Okay, we're going to go for a stampede of wall breakers away from the ice golem so it doesn't pop under the breakers. And he's going to go hunter. I wonder if it's going to miss one of them. Sometimes it does. Oh my goodness, we are not missing out on damage. I'll tell you that much. That's incredible. Dude. That's why Prince is in this deck over Cannon Cart and other cards, just because it's such an effective card at punishing opponents when they make misplays. It's so strong. I think it's one of the most underrated cards in the game. When it charges up, it does double its effective regular damage. Okay, also, whenever we see 3 Musketeers, I'm in a position where I want to go in for a log on top of the 2 of them, just so that I can bounce them back and hopefully stop a heal spirit. Yo, we rolled the heal spirit too. Dude, Gordon Ramsay would be proud of what we were making out here. Holy heck. I'm going to go in for a princess again in the back, and then I think with the thick Rascal boy, we might be able to hold the door. That's incredible, guys. You get a 2-for-1 combo with the Rascals. You have the high damage per second, and then you also can say hello to a fantastic tank and a meat shield for 5 elixir. It's nice because you won't always have the perfect card composition for anti-air and also ground defense against bridge spam, but if you have Rascals, you'll have everything you need. It fits everything into one so you can have fun and not get countered by some silly bridge spam. And after beating that guy from the Weeping Cherry clan, making him slightly more sad, we're at 7,900 in the world. All right, so getting into the game. First things first, we're going to go in for a Goblin Gang to shut down the Hog Rider. Generally, whenever we play against Hog Rider, it's going to be like a Hog Rider Earthquake deck, but this guy's packing arrows. Why do you have that small spell? Oh my goodness. Could he have a Mega Knight deck? I mean, usually... Oh my goodness. Double small spells immediately. Not exactly what I wanted to see, my dudes. If you see someone with arrows and rail delivery and you're running log bait, this game is going to be an ultimate challenge. Oh, it is even getting worse. He's got Goldenite for my Rascals. Okay, if I can win this, I can win anything in the game. So let's see if we can put this man to shame. I'm going to go in for my Prince Charge, hopefully be able to blast the Goldenite to the next dimension. And then I'm going to go in for Wall Breakers on the left-hand side and go for a Goblin Barrel on the right and try to make sure that he's on his toes. If the P.E.K.K.A. targets the goblin so the prince gets extra damage, that's fantastic. He dropped a cannon, but he dropped it so late. Wow. Guys, we're in a winning position right now against a very big hard counter to us. Let's see if we can hold the door. So I want to go for a princess, and I want to drop it a really far away so he's not able to hit it with arrows and then also hit the goblin gang. I'm a little bit scared. I don't know what he's going to do, so we'll just see what we can make happen. I'm going to go for a goblin gang, and he's going to arrows, and then we go for rascals right after. And we can blast everything back with a log if we wanted to, but I want to conserve my elixirs so that I can keep up the pressure. Because I wouldn't be able to afford a prince if I had dropped the log there, but now I can. And the prince is going to go and charge ahead of the rascals and be like, yo, rascal thick boy, you might have fallen, but we are going to pick up the slack. Also, the princess is locking onto the tower. That's fantastic. Okay, I might want to go in for wall breakers to go and pull back the golden knight, to be honest. I think that's going to be our best bet. It might only hit one of them, too. If you drop your wall breakers or goblins or whatever directly behind the golden knight will only hit one of those cards. Extremely important to identify that, because otherwise you're going to be wasting elixir dropping units in the middle and watching as the golden knight dashes onto everything. So again, drop your units to counter the golden knight directly behind it, because he doesn't have eyes in the back of his head and he does not get a good dash. Great, you have another small spell. Literally, tornado with arrows and royal delivery. This is crazy. I did not think I would ever match into a deck like this, but this is what ladder is made of. I'm going to go wall breakers here. I want to keep the princess alive optimally, trying to keep his elixir low. I did not expect him to do that because now he has nothing for the prince. Very interesting strategy there from our dude, but I'll take it. I'm going to go in for rascals. I'm going to go in for another princess at the river off to the side. Hopefully that locks directly on the tower, and then it doesn't actually get pulled off until he goes in for a cannon. Fantastic for us. The golden knight does not break through. We know he's going to go in for a hog rider any second on the right hand side, so I need to go in for a prince, and then I also probably need to go in for a goblin gang depending on what happens. I'm waiting for the cannon to die. Okay, I'm going to go in for a dark goblin right now. I'm going to go in for probably a goblin barrel directly on the tower, so when he goes in for arrows, he's not going to be able to defend that, hopefully. I just want the hog rider to die. Okay, the hog rider's dead. Oh my goodness, what is this game? I literally lost the tower, but his tower's at 500 HP, so I think I'm in a good spot. Oh, I did lose my tower. I thought my tower is gone. I guarantee that hog rider does 400 damage. I don't know how that stayed alive. Well, that's a first. I genuinely don't remember a time that I thought I lost a tower and it still stood there. I thought my tower was a ghost, but it was there when I needed it the most. But honestly, I had his tower at 800 HP on the other side, so I probably would have won the game anyway. That match was a massive meme from start to finish. We played against a deck with a triple threat of tornado, royal delivery, and arrows against logbait, and we still triumphed. I guess you could call it the quadruple threat because he even had golden knight for our bait cards too. I don't even know how someone creates a deck like that. Let me know down below in the comment section how you guys think he came up with this strategy. Yo, we're playing against another top 300 in the world player. Oh my gosh. Clash Royale be wildin' out here. So Tom is going to go in for a heal spirit. Whenever I see that, I'm thinking 3 musketeers or an elixir golem deck. Have to wait and see. Usually with elixir collector, it means it's going to be 3 musketeers. You can only have 1 elixir in your deck. No elixir golem plus elixir collector, unless you're a certified savage. He's going to go in for a ice golem and then also a bandit, which is kind of unfortunate for me, but it is what it is. If we can go and bait out the barbarian barrel using our goblin gang and then maybe go for wall breakers on the other side, that would be awesome. We'll see what he decides to do here. Usually they're going to have like Royal Ghost and stuff. I'm going to go for Rascals to prioritize protecting our princess. Yeah, that Royal Ghost is a conundrum for me, right? It's not easy to kill that card ever because it's got such good splash damage. Do I go in for wall breakers to pull back the bandit? I think that's going to be our best bet so that we can still finish it off. And then the Royal Ghost hopefully dies too. Oh, I didn't get the wall breaker to connect. This is still bad. Still actually awful for me. The one thing that is in my benefit, he doesn't have Barb Barrel back in cycle for a bit. So I can go for like a Prince plus Goblin Barrel if he decides to go in for a Elixir Collector. So that's exactly what we're going to roll with. He doesn't know if I'm going to drop it on the Elixir Collector or on the tower, by the way. That's huge. He's going to go for Royal Ghost and look at all the damage he's eating. Oh my gosh. That is gigantic value, baby. And the Prince on the other side might... Aww. Wait, it's still going to do something. It mauled the bandit. That's incredible. All right, we're going to go in for a princess here because I think it will hit the Royal Ghost with the splash damage as well. It'll be very nice. All right, I'm probably not in the best spot in the world, but I still can make something happen here. I want to make sure I go for Rascals on the opposite side of the princess at all points in time so he doesn't get too much Barb Barrel value, E-Barb's value, Rascals counter value with also Royal Ghost. There's just so many issues with that, to be honest. Okay, I kind of need to go in for a Prince here, so then hopefully the Royal Ghost is going to lock onto that instead of my Dark Goblin. Maybe we can keep this Dark Goblin alive? Nope, that was a pipe dream. That was definitely not going to happen. We're going to go Goblin Gang a little bit further off to the side so we can't Barb Barrel directly on top of it. And we will see what we can do, but this is not looking good. Spear Goblins are putting in some work, so that's always viable. We can go in for a Princess here and then potentially log depending on what happens. Yeah, I'm going to go for Rascals, and then I'm going to log on top of the Heal Spirit. I'm going to just delay it a little bit so I don't waste too much Elixir. And I think the Rascals are able to kill the Musketeer, which is huge. Okay, so the Princess is going to die to the Bandit for sure, unless I go and spend a ton of Elixir here, which I don't know if it's worth, to be honest. I'm still going to do it, but I don't think it was a good investment, guys. Maybe it is. Wait, what if I go for a log on top of the 2 Musketeers and just keep our Princesses alive so we permanently get value? Notice how I'm not spending actual cards that will die to the Musketeers in the right-hand side. I'm always using my Princess plus log because it's just an overall better trade. And then your Princess stays alive on the map so that you can get more value from it. All right, the Goblin Barrel is coming through. He's going to go for a Barb Barrel really late, which is fantastic for us. I'm going to go Dark Goblin since it has higher damage per second instead of a Princess. Princess does do a lot of damage, but not near as much as the Dark Goblin. So I want to go in for Wall Breakers with Rascals, and then I want to go in for everything that I have at the river and just pray that it works, because I don't think he's going to be back to Barb Barrel, and I think he's dead, because the Rascals lock tower, the Goblin Barrel locks, and then the Wall Breakers just say, sayonara. The Goblin Barrel didn't even have to put in work. The rest of his team had him completely covered, while we absolutely engulfed his entire tower with gobs of goblins. It's awesome dominating a 3 Musketeer player that finished 300 in the world with Elixir Collector when we don't even have a single spell to stop his Elixir advantage. Just cost efficiency with your cards on defense, especially that Princess plus log against the lane of the 2 Musketeers, will keep you safe every time. Because if you keep your Princesses alive, you're going to get positive Elixir trades that will rival the Elixir advantage they get from the Collector. All right, so this guy's going to have a Mega Knight in his banner. Let's go. So he is not going to be cycling anything at the start. You know, most Mega Knight players are pretty vicious with their plays. Okay, here he is. He's going to go Archers in the back. So typically the Mega Knight deck with Archers is going to end up having Archer Queen as well, and then Wall Breakers and a fast card cycle with double small spells. We'll see if he's going to be packing that. Oh, it definitely is going to be a Mega Knight deck if we see Bandit and Archers. So I'm psyched for this because I can go in for a Prince here and make sure that he's not able to get the connection with the Bandit, and then we can go for a log if we need to, but I don't want to. I would prefer not to if I don't have to. And go for a Dark Goblin here. There's a high chance he's going to go for arrows, so I want to make sure that I separate my stuff. The Dark Goblin is going to get pulverized, but it does get enough damage on top of the Phoenix where I won't have to respond to it. So after the Spear Goblin's buff where they get a bit of an extra range, it's going to be interesting to see how much damage they do to the tower there. I can go for Wall Breakers at the river just because I want to get more damage to the left-hand side optimally, and I don't think he's going to be able to get something down fast enough. Let's go! That Bandit is not fast, and it got caught in the blast. So I'm going to go Rascals. A little bit risky, not going to lie. He could Mega Knight on this. I think he probably will. But fortunately for us, I have Prince and Cycle, so I always need to make sure that I have the proper response. Mega Knight 3, 2, 1. There it is. I like that I was able to call it because I saw his banner. I saw his other cards. And I'm like, this is obvious. This is the deck he's playing. I'm going to go for Prince in the middle, so then the Mega Knight jumps onto that, and then hopefully both towers are engaged on top of the Mega Knight, so I won't have to respond as much. We could activate King Tower with this Dark Goblin. Hopefully the Miner goes towards the King Tower. Please? Yes! Let's go! That's such a win for me. Not only is it a win in the game, but it's a win mentality too, right? Like, when you get that King Tower activation, your opponent's like, wait, shouldn't have happened. It's always a good vibe. I'm going to go and split Wall Breakers because I might not be able to go on the left-hand side for the majority of the game afterwards, because I think what's going to happen here is he's going to probably go in for some dual lane shenanigans or something, and he's going to make sure that I have to spend extra elixir on both sides. Usually these Mega Knight Wall Breakers players will go in for like Miner plus bats or Miner plus minions and make your life a little bit worse if you ever are down any bit of elixir. So I need to make sure that I also have the ability of going on that side if I get the opportunity as well, because he's going to Mega Knight in the back and build up big pushes, so I don't want to keep going in the same side as him, right? So I'm going to go for Rascals, and then I think he's going to arrows on this, and then maybe I can go Wall Breakers depending on what happens afterward. So I'm going to go in for a Dark Goblin here on the left-hand side, and then I'm going to go in for a Goblin Gang, so then we can go and crush the Princess, and I'm going to go in for a Prince in the middle, and then I think I need to go in for Wall Breakers or either a Goblin Barrel. Yeah, I think Goblin Barrel is going to be our best bet to fully shut this down, because then I can go in for Wall Breakers to pull everything back, and then I guess I need to go in for Rascals, but I don't know if this is going to be able to counter everything. I mean, Rascals after the buff probably do, but oh, even before the buff. Okay. All right, I vibe with that. We're Dark Goblin off to the side because it should be able to hit the Prince. Okay, never mind. I was optimistic, and unfortunately it didn't happen. I'm going to go in for a Goblin Gang here, and then I'm going to go for a Goblin Barrel on the tower. Definitely want to go on the opposite side of him. Oh, he went for Mega Knight on his lower HP tower and protected it. I hate that this guy is actually a smart player. Makes sense, though. I'm going to go in for Rascals here, so then the Bandit doesn't dash into my tower. I'm going to go for wall breakers on the left-hand side so I can force out extra elixir. He's going to lose the wall breakers. I guess he's just trying to body block for the Mega Knight so it didn't die immediately. I'm going to go in for a Dark Goblin off to the side. He's going to arrows me, so then I got to go Goblin Gang. But his arrows are out of cycle, so this is really, really good because now I can maybe go in for like a Prince and a Goblin Barrel and try to punish him because he doesn't have the right card cycle. Right? If you don't end up having your arrows or your big spell for the Goblin Barrel should do a lot of damage then because the Princess is going to be able to tank for everything. That's a tremendous lead for me. Let's go. So we're going to go for wall breakers here. I'm going to log, wait and see what he wants to do, and then I'm going to go in for Rascals. The Bandit's going to dash on that. That's totally fine. We can go for Princess on the left-hand side on top of the Archers, and then it's going to stay alive, and it's also going to give us more value on the Phoenix. Pretty important in this type of situation to never like overspend your elixir and make sure that you always have cards that are going to give you value after they're already killing the initial card that you wanted to finish off. So like the Princess and then the Dark Goblin, because the super long range will always give you that benefit. I'm going to go in for a Goblin Gang here. I'm going to go for Wall Breakers. And I'm going to follow up with Rascals so the Mega Knight does not jump. And then I can follow up with a Prince as well. I think both the Wall Breakers do connect there. And then I can go in for a Goblin Barrel again. And then go in for a Log on top of the Phoenix Egg so it doesn't get resurrected. Going to follow up with the Goblin Gang here. We know that the Wall Breakers are going to connect, but it's not the end of the world. I think the Prince will take him out. Yeah, GG and well played. Even though he's a top ladder player with a Mega Knight deck and arrows for all of our log bait cards, it still simply wasn't enough. Despite his excessive amount of splash damage, he wasn't able to put up a fight with his Mega Knight. I think we were in complete control of that win, and now we're at 6,000 in the world. So this guy finished 347 in the world. After crushing Mega Knight, we have jumped on to bigger and better things, a heavier challenge from our opponent. So we'll see what happens here. I'm going to go for Rascals in the back. Oh my gosh, Archer Queen in the middle, first play. Well, that's interesting. I think we can go in for a Dark Goblin here to go and snipe it and make you go and drop the invisibility a bit faster. And then the Dark Goblin's still going to go on the other side, so we're going to force out even more elixir. So does the Dark Goblin do more damage than the Archer Queen? Pretty close. Not terrible for us. And we get some decent counter push with the Rascal as well, forcing out a mini P.E.K.K.A. So that is not even a miniature amount of elixir. That's 4 elixir down the drain, my man. I'm going to go in for a Goblin Gang here to guarantee that we can get some good counter push and then also get a zap from our dude. So overall, looking pretty good. I like this type of cycle where, you know, we see zap and we see Phoenix and we see him probably running a Golem deck if I had to guess. If we're ever playing against someone that is going to be running a big beatdown deck, we want to be vicious in single elixir. Then they're never really able to feel comfortable about their position here. I'm going to go for Rascals at the river, and then I'm going to go in for a Goblin Barrel, and then when the Phoenix gets close, then I go in for Wall Breakers to pull that back. I did not expect this to be Mega Knight, because if you think about it, when you see Poison with Phoenix and also Mini P.E.K.K.A, like, what would that be, right? That looks like Golem Mini 9 times out of 10, but it is what it is. I'm going to go in for a Prince here again, and then we should be able to go and push the Mega Knight directly into that. We can go in for a Goblin Gang off to the side. And notice how both towers are targeting the Mega Knight. It's extremely important to do that placement that I did. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to finish off the Mega Knight, and we would have guaranteed lost our tower. The tower's at 200 HP. The guy's laughing at me. He got a little bit lucky. I'm not going to lie. That's kind of what happened for him. But, you know, we bounce back and we make it happen. Even if someone BMs us, it just, I don't know, it encourages me to play better and win. I'm going to go for a Goblin Barrel and Rascals. He actually is able to go in for like a Royal Ghost, which is super, super bad for me. If he didn't have Royal Ghost, the Rascals would have done a lot more damage and I would have been in a much better position. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go in for a Prince. I will be able to kill that, and then I can go in for a Goblin Gang afterward, and the Prince will finish off the Archer Queen. So he's going to have to spend more elixir, probably with the Poison on the right-hand side, which is not something that most people would want to do. After the Mega Knight jumps on top of the Dark Goblin, then I'm going to go in for Rascal so it doesn't jump again. And then I can follow up with the Princess in the back. We can even log on top of the... Yeah, I think we're going to log on the Ram Rider so it doesn't get a charge on our tower. So at this point in the game, we're still in a position where we can win. It's just going to be a bit harder. He's going to poison me right now, so we have to unload everything we have on the left-hand side. Wall Breakers, Goblin Barrel, I choose you, everything right now. I'm going to go in for a Princess here because we are able to kill the Royal Ghost, and I do take the tower with the Princess locking on. So that is a gigantic W for me from that perspective, but we know he's going to Mega Knight in like 2 seconds. I just wish he didn't have Royal Ghost because then the matchup would have been so much easier. The Rascals would have taken the tower on the left a bit faster earlier on, so wouldn't have had to worry about this, you know? I'm going to go in for a Dark Goblin in the back. He's going to go in for a Mini P.E.K.K.A, interestingly enough. He's not really BMing us anymore after he lost his tower. It's interesting, you know? He was really mean when he thought he was going to win, and now he doesn't know. He's very unsure of himself. We're going to go in for a Princess here. The Goblin Gang locks onto the tower for some nice damage. We might want to just go in for, like, I don't know. I think probably a Goblin Barrel, and then maybe go in for Rascals here, so then hopefully the Royal Ghost doesn't go and target anything super important. We can go in for a Dark Goblin here. We can go in for a Prince afterward just to make sure we can kill everything. And then I'm going to get down a Goblin Gang last second on top of the annoying Archer Queen. So as long as he doesn't 3-crown me, we're going to be okay. Since I do have Log for the Archer Queen, we can knock that back, not take too much damage here. I am going to follow up with Wall Breakers, and the Prince should take the Mega Knight jump. Oh my gosh, wait! If the Wall Breakers connect, he's dead! No way! Let's go, baby! Double Mega Knights down in a row, and this guy was super mean too, laughing at me, thinking he won, and we jumped back in the game and all over this Mega Knight player's towers. Let's go, baby. And he was a top tier player too, finishing 347 in the world with a tremendous lead against us. It just shows you never give up with this deck because you can always bounce back. After dominating those double Mega Knight dudes, we're 5,000 in the world. Like, subscribe for more daily videos, and have an incredible rest of your day.